Hi there, today I'm unboxing a Wi-Fi wall socket with two USB ports. So this particular product is by a company called ENER-J. Comes with a 2-year warranty and supports UK plugs. So let's have a brief look around the packaging. Comes very nicely packaged in glossy packaging. Supported on both iPhone and Android devices. Uses an app called ENER-J Smart and is compatible with both the Google Home and the Amazon Alexa. So okay, let me just flick around the actual packaging. There's some QR codes for the actual app. Some other products they sell, so a smart plug, smart light, and a LED strip light. Okay, just more pictures of that. Okay, let's open it up. Have a look what you get in the packaging. So obviously the socket itself, some fixtures, and looks like instructions. Okay, so let's take a look at the items you get in the packaging. So first of all, the actual fixtures, the screws. So lengthwise, we're saying 2.5 centimeters on there, and they take a Phillips head screwdriver. In terms of instructions, very light on instructions, nothing much to it. All in English, which is good. So this particular product is slightly different from the norm. So normally you'd get a plug which you'd plug into a socket, and that gives you the actual smart functionality where you can control it remotely. Whereas with this one, it's all built into the actual socket. That's why it's pretty cool. Now let's have a look at the actual product itself. Glossy white finish on there. 2 buttons, obviously. Sort of clip back again, obviously showing it's on. I don't know if that changes once you put a plug in there. Does it lock into that position? And looks like we've got some sort of perhaps LED there, and obviously the 2 USB points. In terms of depth, this is what I was quite interested with this product. Would it be quite thick, so difficult to install? But doesn't seem to be extremely deep in any way. So we're saying, if I hold it in an angle, saying about 1.5 centimeters, so not off the sort of size of a standard one as it is. Build quality wise, seems okay. You've got obviously the earth going across here, and then you've got your live and neutral points, so clearly marked on there. Fixture wise, looks like you have to pop the top off just to be able to screw it in there, because obviously the plate hides the actual screws on there. Okay, so let me show how to actually take the initial cover off the socket. So I've got a flat screwdriver bit here, and the 2 clips underneath. It's just a matter of just holding on like so, and put that aside. There you go, comes off. So nice design. Obviously, I guess it keeps it open to the possibilities of having different finishes. So I'm not aware of other finishes made by this company, but again, opens up those possibilities. I do personally prefer just the screws rather than messing around with things like this, only because as I put the screwdriver in, I can always end up damaging bits and pieces doing this, so a bit of an irritation when you're doing this, but still gives a nice flush finish once you've installed. Okay, so let's initially begin with installing the ENER-J Smart app on our mobile device. So I've got my Android phone here and the Play Store here. So if I start that up and we just search for ENER-J app, and it's that one, and let's just install that now. Okay, so the app's installed now. Let's click open. And this is what we're presented with. So what do you need to do? If you haven't already got it, register an account, set the privacy agreement, and then obviously enter in your details, either mobile number or email address. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've registered my account and signed in. So this is what I'm presented with. So we're in a position where we're ready to actually configure a device once it's set up. Okay, so I'm at the socket where I'm going to replace with the Wi-Fi socket. So as you can see, the power's on. So I've just got a tester here, and it just shows that there is power going there. So let me turn off the power downstairs. Okay, so the power's been turned off and there's no electricity going to the socket. So I've isolated it off the consumer unit. So let me remove the screws to take the socket off. Okay, two screws are out. Okay, so let me unscrew the wires that are there. So you've got live, earth and neutral. So I'll just remove them. Okay, so the existing socket's off. So let me show the smart socket in comparison. It's very similar in depth. If I hold it like so, there you go. So not much difference in the actual depth of this. Okay, so I'll loosen some of the screws. In preparation of putting the cables in. So positioning would be like that. So if I hold it in this position, we've got neutral going in there. So let's move some of these cables about. Okay, so I've attached the cables onto the socket and all firmly attached, as you can see, doesn't easily come out. So we'll just return the socket back into position again. So I've got quite a bit of slack here, so I'm able to push these plugs back in. Sorry, the wires back in. So there you go. So next, we'll just put the screws in. Just be careful when you're doing this, nothing pops out. And it sits in correctly into position. Okay, so the socket's attached to the wall. Just get our small spirit level here just to confirm its level. And it should just be a matter now of just taking this, putting it on and clipping it in. So there you go. Simple as that to install. Okay, next I'm gonna put my tester back in place just so we can see the power coming back on this and just confirm it's wired up correctly. Okay, so I've turned the electricity back on and let's test if the socket's working. So both the actual buttons here, they return back into the on position every time. So it gives a click as you're doing it. You can hear a clicking sound coming from it. Power's on and it's correctly wired in. So looking at the instructions to configure this, we have to hold on to both these for 10 seconds. So let me do that right now. Okay, so that's rapidly blinking now. So let me go to the app, and if I click the plus on here and we select electrical outlet and confirm it's blinking rapidly, which it is. If I click here, it's asking for my Wi-Fi passwords. So let me enter that off camera. Okay, I've entered my Wi-Fi password and it's attempting to connect now. So let me move the phone out of the way. Okay, I've just heard it click. It looks like it's connected. Let's give it a moment. And there you go, it's shot ahead. There you go. ENER-J twin sockets. If I click on there now, oh, let me click done. We've gone straight in there, so this is quite interesting. So sockets come on, it's gone off. Pretty cool. So functionality all built in to the actual socket, so no messing around getting separate plugs to do this job. So let's have a look at the options you have available on there. So you can do a complete shut off or a complete shut on. If I go there, basic details, the actual device name, location, you can check the network, shows what third-party controls it's compatible with. You can share the device. You can group them together, so you can have multiple devices grouped together to work at the same time. Device info, it will give you IP address and MAC address for it, feedback, and check for firmware updates. Obviously that's the firmware running on the actual socket. Let's go back. Click on schedule. So you can set a schedule up for each socket coming on and off. That's quite good. Let's go back. Back again. Okay, so next let's test out the USB capability of the socket. So 2 points there. I've got a meter there that reads the actual voltages being given. And I've got my mobile connected to the other end of this USB cable. So 5 volts on there. If I plug that in, see how many amps we get. 0.26 amps. Let's unplug that. Plug it into the next port. Give it a moment. Plug that in. Okay, 0.38. So that one's giving out a faster charge. So just to be aware of that one. One disappointment I found in this, I actually thought the USB would also be controlled by the amp. So it doesn't seem to be. It's just a case of the 2 sockets work off that. I think it would have been quite nice to even have the USB side of things working off this. But still, pretty cool for what you're getting. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show is how to set up the Wi-Fi socket with a Google Home. So I've got my Android phone here. It's got the Home app already installed, so let me start it up. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to click here and select Home Control, but I'm going to do that off camera just to avoid showing my account details. Okay, I've selected it. This is what we're presented with. So the next thing we want to do is click plus. These are the other devices or services I've got linked in. So we want to look for Smart Life in there. So if you just scroll down, or you can search at the top for it. So it's that one, Smart Life. So now with this, what you want to do, you want to enter in the details you entered in for the ENER-J app. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've entered in my details. Let's select ENER-J Smart and link now. And we want to authorize that. And it's linking to the Smart Life account I've got. Okay, so that's how it appears. So ENER-J twin sockets. It's quite interesting. You can obviously assign to a room. If I just click done, I'm just seeing one item. So that's quite interesting. It only appears as a single item. Now, if I go in there, I can give it a nickname. So let's call it socket. Okay, so that's there as a nickname now. So just go back and I should be able to shout out, okay Google, turn off socket.
All right, turning the socket off.
Okay Google, turn on socket.
Sure, turning the socket on.
There you go. So quite easy to integrate and work with the Google Home. Only thing is, you only see it as a single device, so you can't control individual sockets. You've got to do either both at the same time or nothing at all. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is how to get the Wi-Fi socket working with the Amazon Alexa. So I've got my Echo Dot set up just here. And let me get my Android device and start up the Amazon Alexa app. Let's let it initialize. And if I go here, click on skills and games. Okay, and we want to search for ENER-J Smart. Okay, it's just here. I'll click enable. And it needs me to enter in my account details for ENER-J. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've entered in my details. Let me click authorize. It's been successfully linked. So I just click on the X in the corner, I'll close that off, and let's click discover devices. Okay, saying 5 devices discovered. Okay, let's click done. Okay, all devices, and there you go. ENER-J twin sockets. If I click on there, And again, just like the Google Home, it's just one switch for both sockets. Now, if I go there and we rename it to just socket, okay, and we can come out of that, and I'll unmute the Alexa, and let's test this out. So Alexa, turn off socket.
Okay.
Alexa,
By the way.
turn on socket.
Okay.
There you go. Simple as that to integrate. But again, you're limited to either turning it all on or all off. It's not individually controlled. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this Wi-Fi twin wall socket with 2 USB ports built in. Very good build quality on this. In terms of actual dimensions, it's quite good how it comes in at a similar sort of depth as a standard socket. In terms of usability and setup, very simple to set up. In terms of installation, do be careful when you're installing this. Make sure you know what you're doing when you're working with electricity. If you're not sure what to do, best to just call an electrician in and don't guess this type of thing. In terms of functionality, just to be aware, the USB points aren't controlled via the app or on Wi-Fi, only the 2 sockets are. Each socket can be controlled individually from the app, but if you're using the Google Home, which is there, and the Amazon Alexa, you're not going to be able to control individual sockets. It's either both on or both off. So there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below for anyone thinking of buying. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.